Well, we're here today with my good friend Rich Norton. We're doing this little series while Rich is literally sitting in his car on his way to appointments to sell merchant services. So, how are you doing today, Rich?
Doing excellent. Loving it. Loving it. Love being on the calls with you.
That's great. So, we're going to talk today about probably one of the biggest topics, and I think one of the most misunderstood topics for representatives in our industry, and that is overcoming objections. And so, I want to talk to you about this topic, Rich. And I want to start by zooming out because I know we're both very passionate about this topic, and I think we both have a very similar way of dealing with this. What is your kind of big picture philosophy on the agent that comes to you and says, Rich, everybody I talk to is giving me this objection and that objection and this objection? What do you say to them big picture to help them start moving in the right direction to handle objections and be able to move forward in their sales process?
Yes. So sales, as I always say, is eliminating the objections before they come. So this goes back to listening to the merchant, finding out what their needs are, coming up with the best program that's going to fit their pain points, that's going to be the best solution for them. So we're going to get objections, and we'll talk more about this as we go through. I think where salespeople make a mistake is they get defensive when they get an objection.
Yep.
And automatically they go into that mode of, hey, I'm better than everybody else. For
Right, right.
example, they might say, oh, yeah, we get guys like you all the time. And what's the natural reaction? They're going to say, well, I'm different from everybody else. And they're going to say, well, that's what the last three guys told me. And they ripped me off, right? So we have to learn the art of handling objections, but understanding, first of all, sales is eliminating the objections before they come. And as we visit a merchant for the very first time, it's all about establishing control. We can either let the merchants control us and throw objections at us and then be like the dartboard throwing them right back, and that doesn't work. But if we take control of the scenario and learning the art of taking control without being rude or pushy or anything like that, by whatever objection that they give, be the opposite of everybody else and welcome the objection. So if they
Mm.
say, man, people like you come, we get calls all the time. I'm like, oh, thank you. Thank them for that. Oh, tell me about it, man. I've been doing this for a long time. Some of these people have come out of the woodwork. As a matter of fact, the last guy that I just helped out, he got two calls from merchant service agents. One was in the Philippines and didn't even know where the other one was from, and they were trying to get him to switch. So thank you for bringing that up. We hear that all the time. So welcome that objection. And
Yeah.
then when you get that objection, give a testimony. And then to establish that control, come back with another question. The person that's asking the questions is the one that's in control.
I love that, and I think, it's so important that you're pivoting away from the objection when you get it, right? So I think a lot of times what I find, Rich, I don't know about your experience, but a lot of times I see agents where they seem to switch into this new mindset where they wanna win the argument instead of winning the sale. Um, I
Yes.
I personally get no satisfaction from, driving an hour to a merchant location to win an argument. I mean, I don't really wanna do
Correct.
that. I could argue at home if I wanted to with my kids, like, that doesn't do me any good, right? So, I would much rather win the sale, but I think we can get into that mindset, and so that idea of, "Hey, we have an objection, we talk about it," again, welcoming the objection, being positive, and then, I love what you said, then you do the question. Right? So talk about
Yes.
that a little bit more. Okay, we're at the end of the, we welcomed the objection. Give an example of then how you would get away from that and get yourself back on track using questions.
Yeah. For example, they might say, well, we get a person that calls us all the time. So
Right.
I welcome that objection. I'm so glad you brought that up. It's so right. I've been doing this for so long, and most of these ones that call, they never meet you in person. Am I right? They'll say, oh yeah, they're calling up on the phone. Most of the ones that call, either they don't know what they're doing or they're misrepresenting. It's one of the others. Well, here's what merchants love about us. So you noticed what I've done is I've pivoted where I became part on their team right now,
Right.
ganging up against the people that are calling. So
Right.
now we're in this together. So I'll say, here's what merchants love about us. And this goes a long way too. I use a lot of third person rather than you're going to love us because we're here at we don't do any of that at all. We're very cool, very smooth. Here's what merchants love about us. They love the fact that we meet them face to face. Merchants tell me that goes a long way. They love the fact that they're dealing with a very reputable company, A+ rated. They love the fact that they're dealing with someone that has integrity. And when they call us, they're going to have live human beings, whether it's me or someone at the office that's going to answer the phone, someone that here is here in America. The merchants that I've been helping out, they tell me that's really important to them. Is that important to you as well?
Mm,
So that's how I came back with that question right
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, so now let's switch gears a little bit. This is the I don't know if I've ever even made a video on this because it's so hard to discuss this and explain it. But how do you eliminate the objections before they come? I mean, there's so much of a preparation that goes into that and kind of an experience level. But maybe you could talk about that a little bit and kind of how you coach your agents to help them to kind of design their sales process to hopefully avoid the most common objections. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah. So when you're walking into a business, again, you're setting the tone right off the bat. And whether we realize this or not, people are going to make an impression of us. We've all heard the phrase
Mhm.
first impression is lasting, and they're right off the bat within a minute or two. So that's why it's important that we, however we dress, this is kind of my attire, business casual. We look good. We have good eye contact. That goes a long way. All the little things that we don't talk about. These are important. The eyes are the mirror to the soul. When you walk into a merchant, you should be staring the people right in their eyes. If you're shifty eyed and you're all over the map, or if you're using filler words, and ah, and this and that, all you know what
Yep.
I'm saying, all of that, that automatically we're going to lose confidence from the merchant. So we're setting the tone when we walk in. Very simple. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Hey, my name's Rich. I've been helping a bunch of businesses in the area. I'm the supervisor with Payrock. I'm in charge of the payment processing department. And we have a couple new programs. We've been helping tons of businesses throughout the area. Some of them we're using, and whatever they have, this is what I teach our representatives: use your peripheral vision, right? Words
Right.
right there. And look around what they have, whatever they have. Some of the businesses we've been helping out have this company or Verifone, whatever the thing is, and we've been able to put them into a new program which they absolutely love. By the way, what are you guys using right now? And immediately they say, "Oh, we have that company." Oh, well, obviously you know what I'm talking about then. And then I'll say the biggest complaint is they don't get statements. They have no idea what they're paying. All they know is a bunch of money is coming out of their account. They're not getting very good service. See, obviously, what I'm doing is I'm eliminating these objections right here. They're not
Right.
getting very good service. Their representative has disappeared. I've heard it all. And that's how we've been helping everybody in the area.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, I think one of the things I thought was interesting, Rich, I had a conversation with an agent a few days ago, and he's hiring an assistant for the first time. And we were kind of talking about, I was telling him about my journey going from 10 or 15 a month to 25 a month by adding some people. And he kind of was like, man, 25 a month. And he's like, what were you saying? Like I had this magical script that I had, and I told him, I said, well, I said, honestly, I said that the most important part of it is when I walk into a business, I genuinely believe that I'm there to help them. And
Yes.
I have a level of confidence. And, when I walk into the business, I could tell you what I said, but that it's not going to work for you if you say that. Like when you walk in, as like you said, you have this eye contact, you have this presence. Like when you walk into a business, it's like, I genuinely believe that a small business owner, it will be a blessing for them to get to know me,
Yes.
and it would be a
Yes.
blessing for me to get to know them because I am going to find a way to help them and make their life better. And I actually believe that. And so I think as we're talking about overcoming objections, right? But it's like if it's like you said, if you don't have that, well, you're going to get a lot of objections. And a lot of times, Rich, I think these objections are almost more the merchant's way of saying, you're not a person that I want to work with.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? And they're
People are
almost
buying you.
yeah, they're almost
Yes.
like pushing you away. Whereas when you walk in and when sales representatives have the opportunity to go with somebody like yourself or one of your mentors out in the field and see what this is like, a lot of times, Rich, when an agent goes with me, they'll respond to me and say something like, "You are so lucky all these merchants that you talked to today, so many of them just seem to really like you, and they just
Yes.
didn't really give you very many objections. I don't know if you
Yes.
experienced
Yeah.
this. And it's
Yeah.
very difficult to
Absolutely.
explain that because they're like, "Well, I'm just gonna say what you said, and then we'll be fine." And it's like, "Well, no, it's actually not gonna work like that," you know?
Yes, yes, very true. Because it's the bottom line is you're getting the people to like you. Step one, and again, how do you get them to like you? Your eye contact. You're sincere. You're genuine. You're smiling. You're friendly, and not weak. Because I think salespeople go out there and they think, well, I just got to be nice, and they walk in and they're immediately apologizing for stopping by.
Yeah,
And you're
exactly.
basically saying, okay, your time's more important than mine. Hey, I know you're busy. Hey, I'm sorry to bother you. So if you don't do that, if you act like the typical salesperson, you're going to get treated like the typical
Yeah,
salesperson. You want your merchants that you're encountering to say, you're different than everybody else. We really like you because, in essence, they're buying you. Our
yeah,
programs, like you said, we believe in what we're doing. We know we're helping people. Why does a representative that works for the same company go out and write 10 in a week while another one can only write one in a week? They work for the same company, they have the
right.
same program, they're in the same areas. The only difference is the way they go out and approach the merchants. They're selling themselves. So
Yeah,
whether we realize this or not, the people are buying you.
yeah.
The program speaks for itself. We have a great service, but the people are buying you.
Good stuff, Rich. So, hey, before I let you go, I know a lot of agents are listening to this and like, wow, it'd be amazing if I could actually talk to Rich Norton, who's set all these sales records and done all these amazing things. And of course, you do have this nationwide sales team with mentors and coaches and all of that. So, could you share with us how would an agent reach out to you if they wanted to learn more about your program?
Absolutely. Yeah, we're here to teach, we're here to train, we're here to help you if you're really serious about being a rock star in this business. We'll teach you. We'll give you all the training that you need. You can reach me at 904-434-4635. Text me, leave me a message, give me a call, or email payrock, Payroc, Rich Norton at gmail.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rich. Appreciate your time as always.
Appreciate you.